Peace. This is the original OG from OmegaFMRadio.co.uk, where we give you views and news. All right. I've got a short clip, and it's about retirement in the Caribbean. All right. I will interject every now and again, but I will give you my views at the end of the video. Okay? All right.
Ever notice how everyone's retirement dream is the same? They want to leave behind the cold, the traffic, the stress, and wake up in the Caribbean. Sun shining, ocean breeze, fresh mangoes, and living the good life. But let me warn you, because nobody talks about the realities of retiring in the Caribbean. The hidden costs, the culture shock, the things that will have you sitting on your veranda, looking at the sunset and wondering if you'd made the biggest mistake of your life. So, if you're thinking about retiring in the Caribbean, buckle up. I'm about to give you the real deal. No sugarcoating and no brochure fantasy. This is what people won't tell you, but should.
No, I don't want it. I came here. I do not want it.
Where do you want to start? The dream or the reality? All right, let's start with the dream. Picture yourself living stress-free, drinking coconut water, feeling like you're in a never-ending vacation. But let me tell you something. That's just the first week. By week 2, reality slap. So stupid. The sun, hot like it vexed with you personally. The beach, full of sandflies, waiting to...
All right. Let me interject real quick. When people go down to Jamaica, they seem to be getting bitten all over the place, and they be saying, "Oh, it's mosquitoes and it's sandfly." All right. Now, I'm going to give you a quick story. I went down to Jamaica and I had to go down into the bushes, right? And I had my laptop and I couldn't leave my laptop because I was doing some work. I had my sweatpants on. I'm looking at my arms every minute, all right, every second to see if I'm going to get bitten. And then all of a sudden, boom, I get bitten, all right? And I'm starting to scratch. And I'm saying, but wait a minute. I didn't see no mosquitoes. I didn't hear no mosquitoes. I didn't see no sandfly. And I'm saying, no, something don't make sense. But this is what it is I got to find out. Take a look at this. They are called, this is their name, right? They are called biting midgets, all right? If you look down at the bottom here, right? The name they call it is no-see-um. No-see-um. So when you go, like to the one that you can see on the left, my cursor's not showing it to you, all right? But the one on the left down here, the bottom left, see how small it is. So you're not actually seeing them. So people be thinking it's mosquitoes and it's sandflies. And the Jamaicans, they have no problem with it. We're immune. It's like when we come from the UK, it's like fee, fi, fo, fum. Here comes the blood of an English man or English woman. Let's have a banquet. Yeah, let's see, let's charge, let's drink. All right? That's the issue. All right? So the only thing I could suggest to you is cover up, wear your long pants, socks, all right, long shirt, and just try your best to have a repellent. All right? Anyway, continue.
Devour you. And relaxation cut short when you realize that everything moves at a pace that would make a snail impatient. And the biggest plot twist, the Caribbean loves noise. If it's not the neighbors blasting music till 5 a.m., it's the rooster demanding that you wake up before the sun. And if none of that gets you, a stray cricket in your house will make sure you don't sleep. So, if you're going to the Caribbean expecting peace and quiet, good luck with that. One of the biggest myths? Oh, the Caribbean is cheap. Who spread that lie? Yes, some things are affordable like fresh food, public transport, and local food spots. But everything else, prepare your wallet for war. Electricity, sky high. So if you love air conditioning, hope you also love outrageous electric bills. Groceries, if you also want your fancy imported brands, double the price. A simple cereal box will also have you questioning your life choices. Car maintenance, the roads will mash up your vehicle, especially where I'm from. New shocks, new tires, gone. And let's not forget healthcare. If you need a specialist, you might be booking a flight just to see a doctor. If you don't plan for medical emergencies, you'll be in trouble. And let me say this real quick. This is why you don't just retire in the Caribbean. You have to have a plan. But more on that later. Now, let's talk about something that no amount of vacationing can prepare you for. Living the Caribbean lifestyle. First rule, nothing moves fast. You go into the bank, take a book, maybe two. You order food, hope you're not starving. You hire somebody to do a job. If they say, I'm coming.
Let me say this real quick. I don't know about Trinidad, Barbados, and so forth, but in Jamaica and in Africa, it's the same thing. The roads, the bureaucracy, red tape, everything, food and everything is on a dead go slow. All right. So I won't just leave that to Jamaica. All right. Anyway, continue.
Just now. That could mean any time from an hour to next week. Second rule, everybody is in your business. You take out your garbage, somebody saying, oh, you went grocery shopping? You change your curtains? That's tonight's church gossip. And if you're new, expect people to figure out your whole life story within days. But let's be real. This is what makes Caribbean culture extra special. The sense of community, the way people look out for each other. You'll never feel alone, but you will feel like you're in a reality show because everyone's watching. Now let's get into the part nobody prepares you for. Hurricane season is no joke. You think you can prepare? Nope. First hurricane will have you praying for your life.
All right. From what I get to understand, understand, or understand, that 80% of the people that have property have no insurance because insurance is extra high. Extra high. All right.
Sounds like the world is ending. The rain is coming from all directions. It's crazy. Now let's talk about government offices because they will test you. You need a document? Hope you enjoy paperwork. And if you go today, they'll tell you, come back tomorrow. You come back? Oh, we need another signature. Can't take them. Trust me, island life is real. If you like schedules and efficiency, forget it. Appointments doesn't always mean on time. And the phrase soon come is a lie. By now, you're probably thinking, so why do people still retire in the Caribbean? Simple. For all the chaos.
Similar as Black Juice?
Yes.
Who is this right here? Is it your friend?
Co-worker.
She smiles at everything, right?
Yeah, papi show.
What?
Papi show.
For all the unexpected costs, the Caribbean has something no other place can offer. The warmth of the people. Everybody says hello, even if they don't know you. The fresh food, fruits, taste like actual fruits, not lab experiments. The simple joys, no unnecessary stress, no rush. Just a way of life that reminds you to breathe. And let's be real, where else can you get sunshine, good vibes, and a plate of rice and peas that actually tastes like love? You ever notice how everyone's retirement dream is the same? They want to leave.
All right. So you got the gist under retirement. Now, what do I have to say? My views and opinions, just my views and opinions. When you reach a certain age group, say like 55 and over, you should really think about retirement. But where? Now, the UK is a precarious place because it's always cold and damp. Now, I'm going to make a long story short. I went to Gambia. Now, before I went to Gambia, I picked up a cold. Now, before I used to get rid of my cold, the mucus, it would take like 3-4 days. But I started to notice over the past few years, it's taking me like 2 to 3 weeks to get rid of mucus. So I had picked up a cold about 2 weeks before I went to Gambia, came back, no, pardon, 2 weeks before I went to Gambia, and no mucus. I came back from Gambia, right, spent 2 weeks, came back from Gambia, and here comes back mucus. Now, I didn't pick up a cold, but here comes back mucus. Now, I realized what the problem is. In the UK, as I said, it's in a curious position on the planet where it gets the cold from the North Pole and it gets the warmth from out to Africa, but it causes a problem where you get 4 seasons in one day. But in the UK, they always warn you about molding. That's the number one thing. If you don't know molding, right? Well, you're around your windows, around the doors, you will see this black fungus. That's molding. That would get into your lungs. Now, if you take a dehumidifier, right, and put in your room, right, that's the one that sucks the moisture out of the air. Within a short period of time, you're going to see a pool of water. This is why when people pick up a cold, it's hard for them to get rid of the cold because they're breathing in moist air. So the best thing for you to do when you reach a certain age group, like most people do, when they reach a certain age group, they want to retire the sun. All right. Now, if you saying I have no property in Jamaica, my family never left me no property, my mother and my father. So for me to go to Jamaica to rent a place, forget about it. Right? But if you have somebody down there that left you property, then like what he said, if you once your mortgage is paid, right, it's just basically you need sugar, oil, rice, and I guess that's it. All right, don't worry about chicken because Jamaica full of chicken. All right, why am I saying all of this? Right, that the nearest place to us right now, if you don't have no property down there in Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, and you reach a certain age group, right, then you may want to think about Africa. Think about Gambia. Look at it as a new frontier, because over there the weather is warm, and it's only a hop, skip, and a jump. And another thing before I call it a rid right, is that the medical thing. People say, pardon me, like what he said, right? People retiring, they set out their property in England, the United States, Canada, Europe, and they go back to the Caribbean. And then age kicks in, and now medical problem kicks in. Now they've sold all their property, given up everything. Maybe don't have no family members in England or in America. And now they're in Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and they're ill. Now, where do they go? If they got a family member, it's cool. They got a friend, it's cool. But if they don't have none of these things, they're going to have a problem. So what I would suggest to any one of you, you're going to retire, never give up your place in the UK, the United States, or Canada. Spend half and half, whatever way you feel is the best way for you to address this problem. All right? But as I said, rethink and saying, okay, you don't have no property in the Caribbean and so forth. Think about Gambia. Why am I saying Gambia? Because picture this. You can get a 3-bedroom apartment, for £400 a month. 400 compared to England. England, depending on where you at, you could be paying up to at least 1,000, 12, 1,300 for a 1-bedroom apartment. All right. So anyway, that was just a quick news and views from the original OG on OmegaFMRadio.co.uk, where we try to be the voice of reason, give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm through the door. Peace one. I'm out.